Hi people, it's me again. Welcome back to Word Magic. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notifications of future videos. And we'll get started here in a minute. Yes, we will. So for those who don't know me, I am Yasmine Galenorn, New York Times, USA Today, and Publishers Weekly best-selling author of over 65 books. I have 23 years experience in the business, 20 of it in traditional publishing through mostly New York, and 3 years indie, so I come to you from both sides of the fence. I write urban fantasy, paranormal romance, and paranormal mysteries, and I wrote nonfiction in the past. And this is Kaylee, my stalwart helper, one of them. And so, yeah, welcome back to Word Magic. Going to be a short video today because I have been taking some time off since I finished the Silver Myst and turned it into my editor. So I haven't been taking as much playtime as I thought I would. I've been doing a lot of administration, and I've been doing some play, some goofing around, which I need to recharge. So, yeah. So, let's see. I'm going to answer a few questions now. I was going to talk about several writing issues today, and then I was going to talk about food allergies, and finally I decided I need to make this short and sweet just because it's 8:30 and I'd like to get this video done. I tried several videos today and just saw one thing or another interrupted continually. So I have been asked I've been asked to talk about food allergies, and I'm not sure what people want me to say about them, so if you have specific questions, put them in the comments below. I can't give medical advice. I'm not going to give medical advice because that could get me in trouble, but I would like to just say if you need to wear a medic alert bracelet, do. You can get really pretty ones. You can get really, really pretty ones now. And it can save your life. If you have to carry an EpiPen or a generic epinephrine auto-injector, as they are called, if you can possibly get them, do. You can go to goodrx.com and find coupons for them so you can get them cheaper, because they are freakingly expensive and they're something you hope you never have to use, but it's important to have them around. If you need, like me, to keep Benadryl around, keep it around. I actually buy it in bulk. I hate to say that, but I buy 6 to 7 bottles at a time. Keep it under, in the cupboards for when I need it. People have been interested in what issues I deal with in terms of food allergies. Well, I do have some food allergies, actual food allergies. Dairy and a couple others, and I have to be gluten-free. But the thing I deal with most at this point is called histamine intolerance, and it's a complex issue. I'm going to link a couple articles I wrote for my blog in the comments below, so you can read it if you really want to get an in-depth view of what I have to deal with. But essentially, my body can't handle nearly as much histamine as the normal person. It overloads really easy, sends me into a reaction where my body thinks it's allergic to a whole lot of things that it may not be, because there's too much histamine in the foods, or I have an histamine overload, just a combination. Luckily, I'm not allergic to cats, which I'm very grateful for. I'd rather take my own issues any day than to be allergic to kitties, because they keep me sane. But it basically means, histamine intolerance means that there are a whole lot of foods that I either can't eat or can't eat much of, and one day I'll be able to eat a little of this, and the next day the same amount would throw me into a reaction. And exercise, if it produces sweat, it will throw me into a reaction generally. Massage, which I need to work on the injuries in my back and stuff, yeah, that can throw me into a reaction. Heat. I can't take hot showers. I never have been able to since I was a kid. I take lukewarm to warm showers because the hot water will make my skin flush and itch, and I can get a rash from it. Too much sun can trigger a histamine release in my body. Now, histamine's not a bad guy per se. We all need it, but I just can't process much of it. So I will link those articles below, and that way you can understand when I talk about having a HIT reaction, which is short for histamine intolerance. You'll understand what I'm talking about. It's much more complex than, honestly, just having a food allergy. It's easier to say I have to stay away from peanuts than I have to stay away from this and that and that. Little of this can be okay some days, but some days it could throw me into, anaphylactic shock. So it's changed my entire life in the past few years. It means this is why I do not travel anymore, why I'm not traveling around to conventions or going, out of the local area for signings or anything. I cannot eat leftovers. I have to smell every piece of meat I eat before it's cooked, because the histamine intolerance has heightened my ability to smell when meat is too old for me to eat. Now, most people won't smell anything when they smell it. I can smell when it's too old. I've met a few other people. My niece is one who, either she or I, if we're having lunch together, one of us can smell the meat and know whether it's safe for both of us. So, yeah, I can't eat in restaurants. I can't eat anywhere there's a chance of cross-contamination. I have to be careful of the chemicals I'm around because certain chemicals can trigger it. So I don't go out much anymore. At least not anywhere there's food. And that can be problematic. Or where I need to take food. So I can talk more in the future if you'd like to hear about dealing with people who don't believe you have an allergy or don't believe in allergies in general. There are people who still think it's all in the mind, which is, the mind can do a hell of a lot. Stress can trigger off a histamine reaction. However, that doesn't mean the reaction's not real. And it doesn't mean that you're just imagining it, and it doesn't mean you're a hypochondriac. And too many people have the attitude that, oh, it's not really a problem. Oh, a peanut can't kill somebody. Yeah, I'm here to tell you they can. And too many kids' lives have been lost because of that. So yeah, I can talk about things like that. So yeah, for the videos dealing with allergies and histamine intolerance and so forth, just leave me comments of what you kind of want me to talk about. Oh, and to address something that people have asked me for years. No, I cannot write a cookbook. Sorry. It would be such a waste of my time, simply because cookbooks do not make money, and this is how I pay the bills, is my writing, and this is how I pay for my house, is through my writing. And mortgages don't come cheap. And it would take me months to write a good cookbook and test out every recipe at least 5 or 6 times and pull it together, and I would make so little money on it. And I know people go, oh no, I'd buy a copy. Been down that route before. I remember years and years ago I asked people if they wanted Smokey and Maggie posters. And I had so many people signing up going, I will buy a copy. I will buy a poster. I will buy a poster. This was back when I was on MySpace. Tells you how long ago this was. I had several hundred people really seriously wanting to buy a poster. I had posters made. I sold about 5 of them. I ended up pulping about 1,200 posters to get them out of my garage because, yeah, nobody wanted to buy them. And so, you know, you can't always go on what people say they'll do. I know a lot of people would like to have a cookbook, but as to whether I'd make any money off of it or not, I probably wouldn't. And my writing is my livelihood. So I'll put recipes on the blog every now and then, and you know, in some of the future videos I can give you some suggestions for playing around with substitutions and stuff, so I can do that. I think that's going to be it for tonight, so we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.